Welcome to another edition of that finger-tapping frenzy that we all know and love. It's WWE SuperCard. This is me, Big Jim, on solo duties, BadLadDad HQ, saying to you, thank you. All 12,000 of you who've subscribed to us over the past 12 months. Well, it's about 14 months now that we've been going, but 12,000 subscribers. We are absolutely blown away, people. It's amazing that so many of you have followed our little SuperCard adventures, and of course we've branched off into other things as well. There's WWE Immortals, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, FIFA 16, bit of Mano Ninja Boyo. Sorry that Ninja Boy can't be here to say his thanks as well, but you know, if you want the videos, he can't always be available. That's the way it works. He's only a little fella. He needs his sleep. He's got to go to school. He's got boring things like that to do. So you're stuck with me sometimes. And you're stuck with me saying, thank you. Now the second big thing I'd like to say thank you for is those people over the weekend who've stepped up to the plate for BLD. And it's all to do with these WWE SuperCard SuperTokens. Now, there's been an absolute clamour out there for people wanting WWE SuperCard SuperTokens. They're only on sale in the US at GameStop stores over the counter, $6.99 for a packet, and you get your ultra rare card and then the chance to share some super rare versions of that card with your friends. And we're lucky here at BadLadDad HQ that some of you out there have deemed us friendly enough to send us some codes and help us build up a little squad, just a little squad of super rare GameStop cards. And of course the big thing with them is they're not really much use for you in terms of your decks, but they're going to be great in terms of customising your cards, because let's face it, if you've got to pay $7 for a pack to get a card, that's a rare picture. Not everyone's going to have the opportunity. Not everyone's going to have the opportunity to use those pictures. So we'll just have a look. Whilst I do this, if we go into the super rares, you can see I've in fact got 8 out of the 10, which is pretty amazing, I have to say. There's Brock, there's Sathina Alinza, there's Roman Reigns, there's Paggy, the beautiful Paggy, the Brit Battler, Taker Pro being worked on. What I intend to do is actually put together a PCC deck based on these guys and an exhibition deck, and then play with them to show you guys that it was worth your while, and they're not just going to be forgotten. We're actually going to use them. And I've also transferred some of these images already over to some Survivor and Legendary cards, but I digress. We also have Johnny Chanar and Dean Ambrose and Stinger, and there's Pizza. She's going to be a pro too. So what we've got missing out of all of those is just the 2 cards is Daniel Bryan, and of course the rarest of the rarest of the rare, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's actually tucked into some of the Roman Reigns packs. So some people have got him, not expecting to get him, and some people have got him because they bought about 20 packs of Roman Reigns hoping to get him. So it's just those 2 that we're missing, which is an absolute amazing achievement for the BLD community and the BLD army out there for helping supply us with those cards. We really do appreciate it. Now I've got some specific names to shout out because some of you guys are just amazing. They're starting with Mr. Weirdwolf, and it's Mr. _Weirdwolf on Twitter. He has been in touch through the entire weekend, not just on one day, not just on 2 days, 3 days over the weekend, banging codes our way, and he's been responsible for the majority of the cards that you've just seen. So Mr. Weirdwolf, top fella. We've also had Kyle Courtney. Now Kyle's Twitter handle is CourtneyIsBay40. Remember that, CourtneyIsBay40. Again, thanks very much, Kyle, for those. The absolute pleasure that it's given Ninja Boy in getting some of these cards as well. If you could just see his face. But of course, with some of these cards, people are giving us codes and they don't want us to use them all. So we've had to do, apart from the last video, we've done them all off camera, because a lot of codes that we were sent from people, I'm afraid, didn't work. And I have let those of you who sent us codes, I've let those of you know whose codes didn't work, and I've let those of you know whose codes did work and how successful they were. And if indeed we were number 2 out of 4 or whatever, I've let those people know. So they've then passed the codes on to other people who they wanted to. So what I would say right now, there is no point putting in the comments down below, please give me a code. We live in the UK, we can't buy them here in the UK, and the people who've contributed to us, they've now given those codes, or what was remaining from those codes, to other people. So it's no good saying, please give me a code. There are none to be had. There may be some in the future, but as you watch this, and as I speak right now, we have no codes available. Please, please, please understand that. Right, another shout out to LeBron the King James, Isaias underscore Swazo, again supplying us with some QR codes that were successful. Thank you so much for that. Fat Cam, who was one of the first, I think it was the first, Fat underscore Cam 206. I am obviously putting up people's Twitter handles on screen so you can see them as well. I think he was the first, and he was the first one we did on camera. T-Beats 3. He came in today with an extra code for us. And of course, last but certainly not least, the one and the only JB, Super Zoology Barbecue, who gave us the only ultra rare card that we have. Ninja Boy has an ultra rare. What's he got? He's got ultra rare Roman Reigns, courtesy of JB. So thanks very much for that, pal. Thank you, all of you, so much for the codes. And even those who did send us codes that weren't sure if they would work and it turned out that they didn't work. Thanks for all of those. But now, it's a Monday. There's something new happening. Bit of a flash in the pan. It's Flash events. How do we feel about these Flash events, people? Tell you how I feel about them. I'm not too happy. Why am I not too happy? Well, it's been going on, and not just me, there's a few of us now, been going on for a few weeks about how there's just too much gameplay and they actually need to tone things down. And yes, I mean, the team events was great, but don't have them right on the back of personal events. Just space things out a bit. We've got lives to lead, we've got jobs to do, we've got families to look after, we've got meals to eat, we've got lawns to mow, we've got cars to wash, we've got all sorts of things we want to be getting on with. There's beers to be drunk, more importantly. So, to have suddenly 2 Flash events coming in the same week, obviously we're gearing up for WrestleMania tier. That must be where we're headed. And these cards, judging by the John Cena card that's available for this evening's Flash event, is a super-powered Survivor card. It's going to be the best Survivor card in the deck, and it's a right arrow. How important are those right arrows when you've got all those left arrow event cards? We've only had Daniel Bryan, which was fairly recently, as the right arrow card. So there's a need for it. There's a need for that card, but trying to do the events that normally take 3 days in 2 days. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to work in terms of whether it's going to be any easier to get these cards and get through these events. Bearing in mind you've got a much smaller amount of time. In fact, like a whole day less to tackle these. We're just skipping past my King of the Ring. Little side issue. This King of the Ring that I started here. I started at 5:30 in the morning. You know I keep silly hours. It was 5:30 in the morning, and what that has meant is there's 2 other human beings in it, which I play them at the start of each cycle of 15 matches. So Son Goku and Ramon 3MR actually would have been a lot more sense if I'd just done that. You can see there's the 3 of us, and the rest are bots. Now the important thing here is when you get a situation where there's just 3 of you, if you can finish top in the ladder stage, that means the other 2 in theory will face each other in a semi-final. You'll face a bot in the semi-final. You've actually got a straight run to the final. So it's actually very important, one of those few occasions where it's very important to try and win. Especially as these 2 guys have got every event card going, and I haven't. So I need to try and retain that pole position going into the knockout stages. And as you can see, I'm on 4 losses, same as Ramon 3MR. And it's tight. 7 matches to go. I'm still using all the energy cards I can to power up. I don't know whether he's going to do the same. By the looks of it, he is. By the looks of it, he's realised the same sort of tactic. So, whereas Son Goku's just taken a back seat and thought, I can probably knock him out anyway. So, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But that does go back to what I say to people is, try entering at weird times of night or early morning, because then you'll find there are fewer humans around and a lot more bots, and it's a lot easier to progress, and you don't have to power up so much. Anyway, let's get back to the action. Now this has just started, I believe. What was it? 1 hour, 1 day, 23 hours, 15 minutes to go. So we're 10 minutes in. Started 10 minutes ago. It was 7 PM UK time. This has started. Now, if we have a look at my deck setup, I'm just going to pick this up actually. I don't know why I'm sort of leaning over there. Deck setup, I've got my strongest cards in apart from the final 2, which are Kofi, who needs improving because I'm trying to make him a pro, and Adrian Neville, who I already have as a pro, But this is a second pro that I've just done. There is, of course, Daniel, I think is now powered up. He is powered up fully. Okay, that's cool. So basically, I always like to have 2 slightly lower ranked cards in the deck anyway, because they're the cannon fodder that I throw in. What do I mean by that? Let's play a game. Let's just get on with the action. Now then, I'm not doing any bonus picks to start off with, because I just want to see whether we seem to be picking up shards any quicker than normal, not shards, picking up cards quicker than usual or not, and winning matches quicker than usual. I doubt it. By the looks of it, it's pretty much standard, so there's not going to be an easy way of doing this. It's going to be an awful lot of top left corner cards to be done. In fact, what I'll probably find it's worth doing is ditching a lot of the event cards and having a more balanced deck, because what's going to happen is I'm basically, with all these event cards I've got here, I'm going to end up facing people who've got all the event cards. So you're going to have an awful lot of left arrows and an awful lot of up arrows, and that's going to dictate the pace of the game. So yeah, here we go, and you're going to have Taker v Taker and Rock v Rock. So we will have to see how this pans out. Right, 2 games in, second match won 9-0, so it's all looking good, even though I do actually have my doubt about this deck with all these event cards. But I'm going to leave it for the time being. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play on for a couple of hours, not right now in front of the camera, so don't worry, I'll be going shortly. But I'm going to play for a couple of hours and just see how far I can get without using any credits on any title matches. Now, I could be setting myself up for the longest slog possible, and I don't really believe it's going to be possible to get all 3 cards, with particularly that John Cena Special Event Survivor card at the end, without using some credits. But you've got to have a go. You've got to pace yourself to start off with. So we'll see how we get on. That's all I can say. So I'm going to carry on playing, getting 6 and 7 picks. I mean, that 9-0 I've just done probably is going to be the exception rather than the norm. But we'll see just how things pan out and whether it is indeed possible to do that. Now, what I should have done, having taken just a little break to sort out a few technical issues, I should have changed my support cards to my deck cards, and I haven't. So that's one thing I should do next time around, because there's going to be an awful lot of swapping over of cards as we're eventing here. Well done, Taker holds off the threat of Jack Swagger. So let's put him up there. Yeah, that's working nicely, thank you very much. That'll do us very nicely. See, people are deliberately using a couple of cards to try and dumb down their deck so they're not facing people with all event cards. I tend to use cards that are already in Survivor level but just need powering up, because they serve a practical purpose. And there we are, look at that. It's another comfortable win. So that's cool. Shame it wasn't the 9-0, just to get that 7. Let's pick out cards, a nice little energy. That'll come in useful for my KOTR. A bit more of this, a bit more of that. A bit of tappity-tapness. And a bit of waiting on a network. You can't fault that. Ah, there we go. There's the edge of Edge's face on this day. Now, as you know, you regular viewers of the BLD Video Emporium, the BLD Army will know I like to collect things in a cluster once we get something revealed. So now I can see I'm waiting on a network. For you, it just looks frozen, and I've got a network error. Now, is it going to come back? It's taken me to the menu screen, and it's still frozen on Edge. Come on, come back. And I've got a network error again. Right, come on. Oh, there we go. We're back in action. Thank you. It's caught up with us eventually. Right, let's back to ring dummy dim dom. Right, no bonus picks yet. I was calling them title matches earlier, wasn't I? It doesn't really matter. Bonus picks, title matches, call them what you will. They all give you an advantage if you can afford the credits. We're going to try and do this. See how far we can get without the credits. Helezadinho. Helezadinho. Right. Well, obviously, we bring in one of our sacrificial lambs, and I've actually got quite a few of my lowest ranked cards here. which is not a particularly healthy position to be in. What I'm going to do something a bit tactful here. Bearing in mind a lot of people are going to have event cards that are right arrows. When you've got a weaker deck, like it's just dealt me a hand with there, I'm going to try sticking it to the man. I'm going to try sticking them on the right, because I've got my Daniel Bryan there, and I've also got a nice up arrow. So, in theory, I can battle from a lot stronger position against non-event cards than if they chuck in a few eventers. Shawn Michaels, HBK. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll lock in that corner card. If I need to, yeah, we'll do that. That's got us still fairly comfortable. I'm happy with that so far. This is the closest game. This is match number 4. Oh, he's played his Daniel. I can see some boosts and some procking and a tinkering and a changing. But not enough to take down our Daniel Bryan, because he plays for the BLD Army and he's the man. Right, in which case, rather than a risky Macho Man against HBK, we'll just plonk Mr. Jericho in there. There we go. Mr. Neville. Get well soon, Mr. Neville. What a horrible injury that was, that ankle injury. Ankle and shin injury. That was not nice. Really feel for you, bro. Come back soon. The Flying Brett. Come back to be the Flying Brett. Right, yeah, I'm doing this cluster selection. Although you could say it's a bit of a cluster at the moment, because it's just brought out the one card. Okay, yeah, so basically, it's not making these shards any easier to find, is it? Let's just play this last game. Just 4 wins out of 4 on a deck I wasn't that sure about to start off with. We'll get to the end of this, and then I shall go away and play non-stop overnight for 12 hours and see how I get on. And perhaps come back and say hello tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows? Right. Can we do the same trick again? No. So I'm going to put Taker in the top left. Actually, I should have put him in the bottom left, thinking about it. Because there's more up arrows than there are down arrows in the event card world. But he still held his own. Well, my cards are doing okay at the moment. Let's put in the man, Bret Hart. Okay, by the looks of it then, they certainly don't have an up arrow. Or at least they don't want to risk an up arrow. Well, we'll put in Brock Lesnar. It doesn't look like now they've used that Daniel Bryan. They obviously don't have another. So they've messed up their right arrow opportunities. So we'll just put in The Rock. And that leaves us with a down arrow if the middle slot's available. Or a left arrow if the left slot was available. It's the middle slot. We park in there quite nicely. We take the win. Thank you and good night. Right. Let's just do this last lot on the right. 25 choices left. It's going to be a long night, people. It's going to be a long night. Right, 1 pick to go. Come on. Give us a piece. Give us a piece. Give us a piece. Give us a piece. Whoa, we finish on a piece. That's the way we like to finish. On a roll. We're on a roll. And a pick doubler. Actually got a pick doubler. Right, there we go. There we have it, people. So from this, what have you learned from this? You've learned there's some very generous people in the BLD community and in the BLD world, and I have thanked them at the start of this video. Thank you so much again, guys. There are some big-hearted people, all 12,000 of you, 12,000 plus now, who've subscribed to BadLadDad on YouTube. Why you would all want to welcome Cynthia Holmes, I'm not really sure. We're not even going to analyse it. We're just glad that you like what we do, when we do it, and we're going to try and do some more. That's all I can say. And as usual, follow us on Twitter, @BadLadDad. You can follow us now on Facebook, @BadLadDad. You can follow us on Instagram, @BadLadDad. Follow us. You're welcome. Come and join the BLD army. We'd love to see you. And we will see you very soon.